Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, a little early morning wrestling video there. I was watching the Hall of Fame, wanted to do a video last night, but motherfucking shit wasn't finishing. It was midnight, they were still talking there, so like fuck this, I'll just do the video in the morning. Some quick thoughts on the Hall of Fame there. It's not like I'm gonna review this shit there. Eric Bischoff inducted DDP. Bischoff did a nice little speech for DDP. They're talking about how they had a real fight or something like that, and they became friends and stuff. And DDP did a nice speech. He talked about Hulk Hogan there. I don't know if it was controversial or not. I don't know if people were sitting there, oh my god, he talked about racist Hogan. I don't know if that's how people felt or if nobody gives a shit anymore. I kinda don't give a fuck anymore, but if y'all still give a fuck, well there you go. They mentioned Hulk Hogan there. DDP talking about how we beat Hogan, stuff like this. We had Jim Cornette doing a nice speech for the Rock and Roll Express. People thought that Cornette was gonna go full mental and start ranting on the company and burying people. You know, it's not like he's gonna do that when he's getting paid to go to the show, you know, but he did a nice little speech there. He can still talk well, Cornette, obviously, on the internet and shit, but he can still talk good in front of the crowd. That might be interesting for a Raw GM, you know. People were talking about Bischoff. You know, Cornette could also still be used to this day, you know, as a manager for a wrestler, or you know, a stable of old school wrestlers or something like that. I don't know. There would be fun to see Cornette back in WWE. Rock and Roll Express did their speech. It was, you know, it was okay, but it was weird at the same time. Ricky Morton seemed a little off. I don't want to make accusations about the guy there. Kind of looked like he was on drugs a little bit. I don't know if he was talking to himself. Robert Gibson would talk, and Ricky Morton, it looked like he was talking the whole time like this. But he wasn't talking. It was Robert Gibson talking. I don't know, maybe it's because he's too old or he did too much drugs, but something was weird there with Ricky Morton. I don't want to insult the guy there, but kind of looked like he was fucked up a little bit there. And then they did the thing for Rick Rude. His family accepted the award. His son, and the son of Rick Rude, is pretty freaking tall. Like fucking this big, you know. He could have became a wrestler, but that wasn't in his cards, I guess. Beth Phoenix did a nice little speech there. And she talked about China for people that were going at Beth Phoenix with pitchforks and shit like this there because of China or whatever. Beth Phoenix actually talked about China, how she was an inspiration for her, stuff like this. She made the point to talk about her, to, you know, to show respect, and I guess to satisfy the bloodthirsty assholes out there that were attacking her for nothing, basically. There, it's not Beth Phoenix's fault that China isn't in the Hall of Fame. That's more of a company thing. It has nothing to do with Beth Phoenix, but she mentioned China, so y'all can put down the pitchforks for now. Teddy Long did a nice speech. the crowd was getting into it when he was doing some of his shtick there. Playa, I'm gonna put JBL in the tag team match or something, and people were getting excited there. Teddy Long too, we can still talk and do good shit, you know. They should use some of these guys to manage, because the wrestlers today, they're fucking cheap. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are good wrestlers, but they have no character. Why not put some of these guys like Cornette and Teddy Long, bring them back as managers, you know, instead of having 50-year-old men wrestling there. How about we get a couple managers back in wrestling? It's always been a big part of wrestling, managers. So why not, fuck? And then we had Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle did a nice speech there, doing some of his jokes and stuff. At the end, he chugged milk, and he had milk all over his suit. I don't know, there. Looked a bit strange ending the show with your suit full of milk. I know he did that to try to, for comedy purposes there, but just standing there at the end with full of milk on him, I don't know there. I guess it was done for comedy, but the crowd was screaming, "One more match." Angle's like, "Oh, wait a sec, I just got here," or whatever. So hopefully after Raw or Mania, the Raw after Mania, I'm hoping Angle shows up there and wants to fight somebody or something, because obviously he can still wrestle. He's still wrestling on the indies. He's better than 95% of the wrestlers in WWE right now. He still has charisma and shit like this, you know. Especially now in the PG world of McMahon. You know, Angle was doing PG comedy during the Attitude Era and shit like this with the milk and stuff. He could easily do that shit today, and it would probably be better than most of the other garbage they have now. So hopefully we're gonna get Angle wrestling again, you know, as a part-timer, or maybe he can show up once a week on Raw or something. I don't know there, but yeah, so the Hall of Fame was good. It was, you know, a nice presentation or whatever. At one point, they showed Roman Reigns' face for, you know, 2 seconds when they filmed the wrestlers and the crowd to show their reaction to the speeches there. They showed Roman Reigns, the whole crowd started booing during the fucking somebody's speech. I don't remember who it was there, but Reigns getting some massive boos and shit. I think the crowd is pumped for Mania. Goldberg too, at one point he got up in between inductions or whatever, and he was getting a mix of boos and light Goldberg chants. They're looking forward to what happens with this motherfucker at Mania. There, Roman Reigns too. Roman Reigns against Taker. He might beat Taker, I don't know there. There's some possibility for some funny moments there, folks. The fans are gonna fucking burn down the stadium by the time the show is finished, I think. Alrighty, until next time. Peace!